Hey, it's Lila here. I'm doing a spotlight on Karamu, which is a game by Chattercap. So let's have a quick read through. For me, a world with only you is enough. 2 weeks ago, Nelli sent her long-term boyfriend, Raku, the following text: I'm breaking up with you. She's been successfully avoiding him ever since, until her bike chain breaks. He helps her, but now she's trapped in a forest with only her broken bike, a cell phone with no reception, and her slightly creepy ex-boyfriend for company. He wants to talk, and one thing is clear: he really doesn't want to break up. He probably won't take no for an answer. So we're going to go ahead and have a little look. Just wanted to say, this is amazing. So Chattercap, taking my cap off to you. Amazing stuff. Look at this, just look at this. When you hover over these left-hand side menus, it kind of jumps at you. That is like so cool. Okay, I'm just going to go to settings. From a sound point of view, I really like voice being upped, so I've got that to 100%. Background music, I've got middle, sound effects, yes, 3/4 of the way. User interface sound effects, yeah, I'm all grand. Text, I love how you can change the fonts. You've got Open Dyslexic and all that stuff there, so honestly, so good. You can even change the size of the font here, large, medium and small. I could spend a whole video just on the user interface, but I'm not going to do that, but just it's just awesome, just so you guys know. So that's kind of settings, and then let's see general. You could go display mode, like windowed or full screen. Auto save is every few minutes, got some keybinds there. But from a settings point of view, usually I like to optimize my sound, which is all sweet. My text is also optimized. I'm not 100% what this means. Bubble opacity. I'm probably a bit of a noob. I don't really know what that means, so I'm just kind of going to leave it. I like things fast in terms of the speed of the text and how it appears in the text box, so I'm all optimized. I am grand. So we're going to go ahead and make a start. Nelli's throat stung as she gulped down the cold dawn air. Her arms were shaking. Her muscles ached and she struggled to grasp the handles. Haggard squeaks from the wheels of her bike tore through the silence that permeated the dark forest. She choked for breath around a small flashlight clenched between her teeth. The light was only modest, illuminating a small patch of road directly in front of her. She needed to hurry. The sun was already starting to rise. It was okay. There's only 3 left. She drove her heel down, pedaling with renewed vigour. Snap! Whoa, awesome sound effect. Terror ripped through Nelli as she was flung over the handles of her bike. She instinctively covered her face. Her shoulder smacked the concrete, jolt of pain through her right side of her body. For a moment she lay on the road, trying to steady her breaths. As soon as her head stopped spinning, she forced herself up on her elbows. She rotated her shoulder. It hurt, but she could move it. Her knees and arms stung too. At first she was going to check them for injuries, but then she stopped herself. She got up on her knees, looked around, squinting in an attempt to pierce the murkiness of the early dawn light. Heart pounding, she patted the ground all around her. She found it. She breathed a sigh of relief. The yellow bag had fallen off to the side. She pulled it closer and examined it carefully. The zipper was shut tight. Everything was still inside. She slung the bag over her shoulder, retrieved the fallen flashlight, returning attention to her bike. She picked up the chain. It was strangely slack.
Nelli.
Ooh. She looked up. Cold tingles ran down her neck and through her spine, sending a chill running all the way through her fingers and toes. Raku was standing over her. Rakuo Kumonde. Okay, I'm probably butchering the names, but Raku, her ex-boyfriend. The tall young man peered down at her with curious icy eyes from under the fringe of his badly dyed hair. Can I just say, see how you got like slight animations going on here? You got his blinking, his hair is moving. I can see the kind of the ties of his hoodie are moving. I can see this kind of that's a cool spider reference there. This is just amazing. Like even though he's not like saying anything just now, but the fact that he's kind of moving, I can hear the birds chirping in the background. Like, wow, this game is amazing. What was he doing here? How could he be here right now?
What are you doing here?
Okay, so just so you guys know, this is an otome game, right? So otome jam is this kind of like romancing male love interests. I always like to get the good end, yeah, the romance end. So I'm gunning for it, yeah. None of your business seems a bit harsh. Going for a bike ride, it's a bit more neutral, right? It's a bit more. It opens me up for a good romance end. So that's what I'm going to do.
I went for an early morning bike ride.
Really?
It was still a little too dark to clearly see his face, but Nelli could hear the skepticism in his voice. Made sense. During the year they dated, she never used a bike for anything other than her commute. Voluntary exercise was torture for her.
I'm trying to be healthier.
Oh, that's good. Me too.
Can I just say, every single voice line so far has been voiced, I believe, as part of the cell of this game. Fully voice acted by lovely and talented voice actors. Thank you so much for working with me. OMG, that's amazing.
I was out for a walk myself. Drank too many energy drinks to power through the night, so I'm trying to burn off some of the caffeine.
His voice trailed off.
Anyway, are you alright? Fell off your bike?
He extended a hand. Nelli didn't take it. She stood up, slung the bag around her, ignoring the mug and twigs. Oh, we've gone dark? Raku smiled awkwardly and retracted the hand before kneeling by her bike.
Your chain. It's broken.
What?
Raku picked up the broken ends of her chain and rayed them around.
Don't think you'll be able to ride it for a while, unfortunately.
Back to light.
You're heading home, right? Me too. I'll walk with you.
Her voice caught in her throat. She tried to think of an excuse, but couldn't think of anything. His face softened.
We don't have to talk. I just don't want to leave you alone out here. Not after what happened to Sana.
Nelli bit her lip. Sana, her roommate and her best friend since middle school, had vanished 3 months ago. A week later, her body was found at the bottom of a cliff in this very forest, mangled beyond recognition. A tragic hiking accident. Like I said, I'm gunning from the romance end, so I'm going to be very positive, amenable, agreeable, etc. So I'm fine seems a bit standoffish, alright seems a bit more kinder, so I'm going for kindness.
Alright.
She tried to rack her brain for an excuse, but no reason to say no. He extended a hand.
Want me to carry the bag for you?
No.
What's with this bag? Interesting. She seemed very protective of it. She jerked away. Okay, so say nothing. See, when you don't say anything, it leaves the other person to interpret things which could be bad interpretations, could be good interpretations, but usually saying nothing lets them fear the worst. So I think if you at least kind of have some sort of placeholder text or something to kind of smooth it over to say, oh, you know, I don't want you to carry my bag, it's too heavy for me, you know, it's kind of an excuse, but it's kind of like explaining it a little bit, whereas not saying anything doesn't really explain anything at all. So I'm going for it's heavy. Let's have an excuse.
It's heavy. I don't want to bother you with it.
Yeah. He didn't respond. Placed both hands on the bike and started to walk it down the road. That is so cool. I mean, I know it's kind of like probably a background that's kind of like showing that it's the same background kind of looping through, but the fact that he's wheeling a bike, he's blinking, you can see his hair moving a little bit. Wow, that is so awesome. Well done, Chattercap, honestly. You're doing so good with this game. To Nelli's relief, he stayed true to his word. Normally he was talkative, but now he didn't say a word. He was barely looking at her. She peeked at her ex-boyfriend out of the corner of her eye. The circles under his eyes were dark as ever. He was usually on the paler side, but looked even more sickly than normal. Maybe he's not getting enough sleep? Raku definitely stayed up all night with his latest, I think it's massive multiplayer online role-playing game, Addiction. Echidna Online. Conscripted her on a few occasions. Probably should have been bitter memories, but she didn't hate those evenings. She would lay on his bed, planting turnips. She wondered if his raids went well. Did he get the item he wanted? Something hit her face. She reached up and wiped a raindrop. Nice sound effects with the rain and the onslaught of rain.
Over there!
He grabbed her hand, ushering her to our old bus stop.
Lucky. Glad this was here.
He wiped his face with his sleeve.
You were even luckier, though.
What do you mean?
He pointed at her coat.
I'm surprised you thought to wear a raincoat. Rain wasn't anywhere on the weather forecast this morning.
It was kind of humid, so...
He seemed to accept the explanation.
I wonder if the buses still come to this stop. There's no sign.
He took out his phone. Oh, I really like how the voice acting continues even though I moved on with the narration. Nice.
No reception. Can't load anything.
He squinted at the stormy grey sky.
Maybe it'll stop soon. No choice but to wait.
He plopped himself on the bench. She chewed her thumb. Should she leave? She brushed off the bench and sat down too. He tried to hide a smile.
So, what have you been up to lately?
Wow, so every single thing is animated. You can see his hand moving a little bit, the blinks. Oh my god, this is so cool.
Nothing much. Working on my thesis.
Alrighty, so... Oops. Right, so if I follow the tutorial correctly, you've got a few things here. This one allows me to save. So you can see here, you've got a whole bunch of files you can save. I'm going to make a new save just because for the purpose to demonstrate. Nothing much working on my thesis. Okie doke, so that's my save done. Ask about him, stay silent, talk about your thesis. So, like I said, I'm going for the romance end, so asking about him.
What about you?
I'd like to say I've been working on my thesis too, but I've been occupied with a personal project.
Coding related?
Wow, so he's like a developer coder? He pumps out all these things like apps, games. Cool. Any small shower thought will be spun into a reality within a weekend. Fast work.
Something a little different this time.
Cryptic answer?
Well, try not to get too distracted. But I'm sure you'll finish your thesis either way.
So he always manages to submit his assignments on time with stellar results.
I wish that everyone believed in me the way you do, Nelli. Hey. You're hurt.
Huh?
So she's got an injury. She didn't feel anything. He kneels by her knees and rummages around, fishing out a white handkerchief. Oh, look at that. You can see him helping her. He's holding her, the calf of her leg. He's got his hanky rubbing her wound. Wow. He was sorely lacking in life's necessary abilities, a 50% chance that his toast would emerge completely charged. He kept his papers haphazardly, somehow even managed to sew an entire shirt sleeve shut. He was always meticulous. He would fuss for an hour, reducing cream sauce to the perfect consistency. He smoothed out every wrinkle. He shared a spreadsheet, every detail of the pet's care. She watched him painstakingly remove every speck of dirt from her scraped knee. Her heart tightened.
Does it hurt? Unfortunately, all I have is this. Shoot, I wish we were at home. This needs to be cleaned with ethanol. Does that hurt? Tell me if it hurts.
Wow, he's so caring and attentive. Alright, I'm actually going to stop there and just give a few comments. This was just a little spotlight on Chattercap's game. So in case you're interested, it's on itch.io, so chattercap.itch.io/Karamu. Amazing game. You can see from the game itself, even these kind of small movements, it feels so animated to me. It feels so alive. It's so engaging. The voice acting is superb, and 100% fully voiced is just so attractive in an English speaking novel. It's amazing. The whole user interface is wonderful. The decisions and choices along the way, the character designs are really lovely. Like, I like the MC with her own design, and getting to see Raku as the love interest and all of his design. So it's really amazing. So amazing programming. I love all the background art. I love the sound effects. You can hear the rain in the background there. It's very intriguing as a concept. There's a few things going on, like with her best friend going missing and then found her body found later down the line. She's broken up with him, but why has she broken up with him? So the story itself is very intriguing. The writing and the dialogue is wonderful. I love all the sprites and the animations and the background art. The voice acting is amazing. So overall, honestly, amazing work by Chattercap. So once again, It's part of Otome Jam 2023. To get to it, you go chattercap.itch.io/Karamu. Highly recommend it. I am super jealous because everything that is done here is just absolutely amazing. So as I mentioned to you, if I go here and even just the settings, you've got general settings, you've got text settings like your fonts that you can choose and the size of them. I love the sound, how I can make the voice acting really high up so I can hear them, and I'm not so fussed about background music and sound effects, so those are a bit lower, so I can customize all that stuff, which is really, you know, is really great for me. So overall, really love it. Well done, Chattercap. Just want to do a spotlight on you, on your game. Absolutely love it. If you haven't played it already, please go ahead and do so. And that's pretty much me as a bit of a wrap for the spotlight on Chattercap and Karamu. So thanks very much for your time, and Lila signing out. Thank you.